Stormzy's rise has been nothing short of historic.
I've been the GOAT for so long, I guess it's not exciting when I win. Boo-hoo, someone grab the violin.
A working class kid from Croydon who helped transform grime from an underground movement into the soundtrack of British culture. But while Stormzy became the face of UK rap, he also became a target, facing relentless criticism, public feuds with legends of the scenes, and accusations that he'd outgrown the very genre that made him. And after huge criticism surrounding a deal with McDonald's in 2025, some fans have decided to call it a day with Stormzy in general. Born on the 26th of July 1993, Michael Ebenezer Kwadwo Omari Owu Jr. grew up in South Norwood with his mum, brother and two sisters. He began rapping at the age of 11 and would clash with older rappers at his local youth club. Known as the naughty kid, he would frequently argue with his teachers, leading to him getting kicked out of college.
You were offered the chance to go to Cambridge, possibly, weren't you?
Yeah.
And you decided not to?
Wouldn't say I decided not to.
So who decided for you?
Life.
Okay.
And the teacher that kicked me out of college probably decided as well.
I didn't know you got kicked out of school then. What did you get kicked out for?
I didn't get kicked out for anything crazy. It's gonna sound way crazier than it was, but basically I put like loads of chairs on another student, like... Sounds mad, but horseplay, and I just put like loads of chairs like on this, so the student was trapped like.
But despite the behavioural problems, he performed well, achieving 6 A stars, 3 A's and 5 B's at GCSEs. At A levels, he achieved A, B, C, D, E and earned an apprenticeship in mechanical engineering in Leamington Spa, leading to a job in quality assurance for 2 years at an oil refinery in Southampton.
That was quite a big thing for you.
Yeah, it was massive.
In what way?
I was on the ends with my brethren, and then I applied for this apprenticeship and then had to go to Leamington Spa, and then I was living with 17 other kids, and they were all white kids. They were all from Scotland, Yorkshire, Newcastle. I had no idea about banter and like just not taking myself seriously. I think that's the biggest thing I would say. I came out of that and I didn't take myself seriously. Like I knew how to take a joke, I knew how to crack a joke. It helped me see people and see life and see culture outside of my culture.
At age 16, Stormzy started to release freestyles on UK rap platforms like Link Up TV's Behind Bars and SBTV Bars in 2010. At age 19, after releasing Freestyle on Freestyle, he released his first full project, the 168 mixtape. While still working at the oil refinery, during a week off, he recorded the entire mixtape, leading to the name 168 for the 168 hours in a week. In November 2013, he released the first Wicked Skengman. It was a freestyle series Stormzy ran, named after one of his own nicknames, which only got bigger the more episodes he released. In 2014, he released the Dreamer's Disease EP, and the 7 tracks shot to number 2 in the iTunes hip hop rap chart, leading to Stormzy scooping up Best Grime Act at the Mobile Awards that year.
The winner of the Best Grime Act, sponsored by 1Extra 2014, Stormzy!
This was when things started to take off and more people started to take notice of Stormzy. But 2015 was when everything would change. Firstly, he dropped his first single, Know Me From. The music video was low cost, all one take, and featured his mom. On the 17th of May 2015, he released the infamous Shut Up video.
Man, should I say he's better than me? Tell my man, shut up.
Shut up.
Mention my name in your tweets. I rude by shut up.
Shut up.
After it was released, it blew up fast. Stormzy won Best Grime Act for the second year running at the 2015 Mobile Awards. And at Anthony Joshua's fight versus Dillian White, Stormzy performed Shut Up live as AJ's entrance music. After the performance, Stormzy was undoubtedly one of the biggest rappers in the UK, not just in the grime scene, but he had just performed at one of the biggest sports events of the entire year in front of millions watching. This led to the single entering the top 40, being the first ever freestyle to achieve this, and peaking at number 18, which led Stormzy to launch a campaign to go for the Christmas number 1. Although it didn't get number 1, it peaked at 8 and he'd officially hit the mainstream. In 2016, he went on a hiatus for the majority of the year and started to prepare for the release of his debut album. After a year's hiatus from social media, he returned in February 2017, releasing Big For Your Boots and announcing his debut album, Gang Signs and Prayer. Gang Signs and Prayer released on the 24th of February 2017 and debuted at number 1 on the UK albums chart, becoming the first grime album to achieve this. The album blended grime with gospel and soul, redefining the scene. He also took part in the Artists for Grenfell campaign, featuring on the charity single Bridge Over Troubled Water to raise funds for the residents of Grenfell Tower. With the success of Gang Signs and Prayer, he won British Album of the Year as well as British Male Solo Artist at the 2018 Brit Awards. It was also at these Brit Awards where he delivered one of the most iconic moments in UK rap. During his performance of Blinded by Your Grace and Big for Your Boots, he switched the lyrics to deliver a verse directly aimed at the then Prime Minister Theresa May, asking her where the money was for the victims of the Grenfell tragedy. Reports after the show confirmed that Stormzy did not tell producers that he was going to change the lyrics. Even senior executives at ITV were blindsided and only realised what was going on while it was broadcasted to millions around the world.
When I was doing rehearsals, remember I was talking about Grenfell and Theresa May. I'm going there, singing Blinded by Your Grace, and when that bit comes on, I'm just spitting a lyric, like a normal lyric. As soon as it went live and I'm on, took off my top. So I know as soon as I said that first lyric, the producers were probably thinking, what's going on?
The performance became one of the most politically charged moments in Brit Awards history, sparking a national conversation. The government was forced to respond publicly the next day about the victims of Grenfell and the funding that they were providing, with a 10 Downing Street spokesman stating May had not watched the performance on Wednesday night and said he was not aware of any plans to reach out to Stormzy. The PM has been clear that what happened at Grenfell was an unimaginable tragedy which should never be allowed to happen again. She is determined the public inquiry will discover not just what went wrong, but why the voices of the people of Grenfell had been ignored for so many years. Number 10 said £58.29 million had been provided by the government so far in the aftermath of the fire, though the total sum was what had been committed rather than what had been spent so far. If there are any concerns being raised about that, we will of course look at those. Wherever there is more that can be done, we will look at that too. In 2018, Stormzy began laying the groundwork for projects that would define his legacy, partnering with Penguin Random House to create #Murky Books, a publishing imprint designed to give opportunities to underrepresented writers. He also featured as a special guest on The X Factor, continuing his breakthrough to the mainstream media. In April 2019, he released his first #1 single, Vossi Bop.
My brothers don't die, we just Vossi Bop. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots.
A song which included more political messages. In the song, he directly says F Boris Johnson, the new Prime Minister, a chant which would ring around the fields of Glastonbury at his headline performance that summer.
If you can't keep the deal, then just be honest. I can never damn Chuck Norris.
In June 2019, he became the first black British solo artist to headline Glastonbury Festival's Pyramid stage. During the set, he wore a stab-proof vest designed by Banksy with the Union Jack painted across the front, being a statement about the knife crime issue in the UK. Stormzy's Cambridge Scholarship also launched in 2019, funding black students to attend Cambridge University. Stormzy was now the most famous UK rapper of all time, breaking into the UK mainstream media, and that would only continue for the promotion of his second album, Heavy Is the Head. Releasing on the 13th of December 2019, Heavy Is the Head was a nod to the phrase, heavy is the head that wears the crown, a statement that he was now the king of the scene, and with that, he held a lot of responsibility and expectations. The album featured artists like Ed Sheeran, Burna Boy, H, and Heady One, and songs like Crown, which peaked at number 4, Own It, which became his second #1 song, and Lessons, a song where he directly addressed his now ex-girlfriend, Maya Jama. In August 2019, after 4 years of dating, they publicly announced their breakup. At the time, media tabloids like The Sun and the Daily Mail speculated that the breakup was caused by Stormzy cheating, specifically linking him with singer Georgia Smith. However, Stormzy later admitted he had made mistakes, not treating her with the respect she deserved, but was never unfaithful. They later reconciled for a short time, but have now ended for good. The album was widely praised for the vulnerability and mix of grime and radio-ready singles. It debuted at #2 on the UK Albums Chart and was certified platinum. The album also earned him multiple award nominations, including at the 2020 Brit Awards, where he won Best Male Artist and Best Album.
And the winner, Stormzy!
First and foremost, always, I thank God, I love you. I give you all the glory, Lord. Thank you.
To kick off 2020, he announced a massive world tour for the album, covering Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa. Tickets sold out almost instantly. However, the tour was cut short due to the pandemic, but luckily, he was able to fill this time with one of the most explosive feuds in UK rap history. In early 2020, grime veteran Wiley took shots at Stormzy online, accusing him of selling out by working with pop stars like Ed Sheeran. After that, he dropped dropped a diss on Stormzy.
No idiot skeng man's running anything while I'm alive. We don't care about your numbers, that's them, man. They ain't gonna be here in the M, man. I step up in that M, man.
And Stormzy shot back with a diss called Disappointed.
Your dad watched your bro get G-checked. Bitch waiting, whole fam full of rejects. Where was you when your little bro was moving nervous?
Wiley dissed again, and Stormzy replied again with another diss, still disappointed.
Instead of you to squeeze the pumpy, you said, yo, mum, we gotta leave the country. I never wanna hear you say free the man, then let's go Cyprus and go free your mumsy.
Wiley did eventually respond after some time to Stormzy's second diss, but by that time, a lot of fans had already made their decision that Stormzy had won the beef. Because the still disappointed diss track was brutal, he fired shots at Wiley's family, personal things to do with Wiley's life, but all of this would be taken away after his beef with rapper Chip later that year. Chip and Stormzy had been what seemed to be friends for a while, mentioning each other numerous times and collaborating, but in 2020, Chip would send indirect shots at people on multiple songs.
You ain't even done 10 years in this thing. Round here we don't hear you're a king, man, we'll take your throne. Piss on your forehead, know you roll with cold spitters, you ain't never been toe to toe.
Which Stormzy thought were aimed at him. Stormzy did the same on a track called I Don't Know, saying,
Is he sending for me? I don't know. When I'm boy there, sell first week, I don't know.
But Stormzy's bars were more directly addressed at Chip. In June that year, Stormzy and a few of his friends pulled up to Chip's house to discuss something. Chip posted the video, made multiple disses at Stormzy, but Stormzy never responded. Chip was waiting, even tweeting, hurry up, FFS, KMT, but still, Stormzy never responded. Lol, why did Stormzy roll up to Chip's yard when a quick Google search would have told him it was directed at Mez? Must be more to this behind the scenes. Stormzy not responding made a lot of grime fans disappointed and took a lot of attention away from his beef with Wiley. If you want to see a full breakdown on the entire grime beef, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's completely free, it would help me out massively, thank you. In 2021, Stormzy returned to festival headlining with Reading and Leeds, where himself and Dave performed their track Clash, which peaked at number 2. His Cambridge scholarship program expanded too, collaborating with HSBC to support even more black students entering higher education. In September 2022, he returned to music with a 7-minute music video which featured multiple famous faces like Jose Mourinho, Louis Theroux, Usain Bolt, and more. On the 25th of November in the same year, his third album, This Is What I Mean, released with a much softer, soulful, and experimental sound. It leaned more into R&B and gospel and was a lot different to his last 2 albums, but it still debuted at number 1, making history as the first UK rapper to achieve 3 number 1 albums. He was also made the cover of British GQ's Men of the Year. At the Brits in 2023, he was nominated for British Album of the Year, as well as British Artist of the Year and Best Hip Hop Grime Act. In 2024, he teamed up with Chase and Status to release Backbone, his 4th UK number 1 single. Stormzy had become undoubtedly one of the most successful UK rappers of all time, because despite the numerous beefs he had, numbers wise and money wise, he beat everybody. In fact, Stormzy in my eyes is the most famous UK rapper ever in the UK. Maybe not worldwide anymore, but most people of any age in the UK know of the name Stormzy because of his Glastonbury headline performances and his multiple TV appearances. But in 2025, this fame would come back to bite him, because although it would be one of the most successful years of his career yet, it also made him a public enemy that had never happened before. In January 2025, he pled guilty to driving a Rolls-Royce Wraith while using a phone, leading to a 9-month driving ban, 6 points on his license, and a fine of around £2,000. In February, he launched a meal with McDonald's, the Stormzy meal. The campaign drew huge criticism from pro-Palestinian supporters who accused him of selling out. Protesters accused him of compromising his previously vocal stance of supporting Palestine to selling out for money, since McDonald's faced boycotts after its Israel franchise owner provided meals to the Israeli military during the Gaza conflict. He himself made politics a focus of his music, hung around Jeremy Corbyn and shouted Free Palestine, then went to do a collab with McDonald's, who are giving free meals to IDF soldiers who are committing genocide against Palestinians. He knows this is hypocritical, which is why he deleted his Free Palestine posts. For some people, they understandably can't support such opposing views/actions. This is referring to when Stormzy deleted Free Palestine posts from his Instagram about the same time that he announced his collaboration with McDonald's, which led to Stormzy having to issue a statement on his Instagram which said, "Firstly, I didn't archive the post where I came out in support of Palestine for any reason outside of me archiving loads of IG posts last year. In that post, I spoke about #FreePalestine, oppression and injustice, and my stance on this has not changed. The brands I work with can't tell me what to do and don't tell me what to do, otherwise I wouldn't work with them. I do my own research on all brands I work with, gather my own information, form my own opinion, and come to my own conclusion before doing business.
So many people who like felt oppressed just felt like you represented them that day. And I think that moment actually really coined you being like the outspoken person, the person that's going to speak up for, you know, all the wrong things that are going on, and people felt like you really had a voice.
A month later, in March, he won the Brit Award for Best Hip Hop Grime Act despite only releasing one song, a drum and bass song in the year before. But he made sure to show admiration to the other nominees in his speech.
Firstly, I say thank you, Jesus. Secondly, big up Chase and Status, my brothers, because, I don't entirely think this award should be fan voted. I don't think any of the awards should be fan voted, not on a controversial one, because I don't know, sometimes I think it doesn't let people have their moments. I think Cinch was the rap artist of the year.
Because at the end of the day, whether he deserved it or not, he's not the one making the decision. Premiering on the 12th of June 2025, Stormzy took another left turn in his career and released a short film, Big Man, on YouTube. Backed by Apple and produced through his own murky films, Stormzy played a character called Tensman, a former rap star figuring out life after the fame dies down. The reviews were solid and the film even got showcased at the British Film Institute. On the 25th of June 2025, Stormzy was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Cambridge in recognition of his work promoting education, such as funding scholarships and backing murky books, and investing in his community, including transforming AFC Croydon Athletic into a local hub. Stormzy hasn't had the most plain sailing couple of years, but whether you're a Stormzy fan or not, you can't deny his impact. The first grime artist to headline Glastonbury, having numerous records and being one of the most successful British rappers of all time. And while there have been some controversies over the past year, what I've seen is that a lot of Stormzy fans have forgiven him for his McDonald's deal, but a lot are still holding a grudge. His comment section goes from fire emojis and love hearts to people calling him a sellout. Either way, his impact on UK music and his journey from the bottom all the way to the top has been exactly what I called it at the start of the video: historic.